Good morning, good afternoon to everyone, whoever has joined from different part of the world. We are here today discussing very important factors which are affecting the dental practices across the world. Uh, so as I go along, I will introduce the speakers and also I'll highlight what we are discussing today. Moving forward, what are we trying to solve? What are the problems that we see being faced by different practices across the world? And of course, we're discussing the solutions that DGA Dental is providing to all our viewers. And of course, why the need of the R is to have the VR-based technology working for you in your favor. And of course, we'll discuss in terms of how you can reach us. So introductions to our innovators today. We have Dr. Manish Chhabra, who is the founder and CEO for Digital Global Academy. And as you can see, he comes out with a vast experience in background in the lab technology, of course, with 2 decades almost. He started working in the CAD operations. He has set up CAD operations for one of the major brands in India, and of course, across the US, they have been working and supporting a lot of other brands as well. In terms of his experience and in terms of his passion, of course, DGA was his brainchild, where, of course, he came out with this idea and he started this whole revolution. And of course, a lot of people supported this revolution. One of the biggest supporters I have with us today is Dr. Jeffrey Hughes. Of course, being a clinician, experience more than 40 years of experience. And of course, he comes out with the person he loves to train people. And he has been a biggest source of a lot of procedures and a lot of things that we have imbibed into our modules. So I'll move forward, and of course, I'll invite both of you to start the conversation and help us understand what we are doing today.
Thank you, Saurabh, for the nice introductions. And Dr. Hose is always a pleasure to, kind of share any space with you. So thank you so much for joining as well.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I couldn't be more excited to speak to people from around the world. So let's get to it.
Yep. So I'll tell you a brief about a little bit our journey, how whatever we have done so far, and how this idea came across. And so the good thing is like I was actually attending a VR, how an airline crew member gets trained on VR. So to me, that was an eye opener. So I was actually one day sitting for this training. I happened to be part of that because I'm always been into technology and as Sora pointed out, I really love to explore things. And by the time I was heading the design center who serves all across, US uh, design center of Lexier back in India. So we were struggling on certain things, especially on how an iOS scanning is the kind of scans we were receiving and all that. So, and I was struggling to train my people on a consistent level, and with these new generations we are dealing with, they are very tech pro, but at the same time they're very full of distraction and all that. So I was going through all those problems, but suddenly this training model came to me on this particular training day. I was amazed. you know I thought, I was for like 5 minutes, I was in that airplane emergency, and I was supposed to be, kind of be in that emergency, do navigate that as if like I'm an airline crew member and I need to bypass and take care of this situation. And to me it was mind boggling because it was so immersive, it felt real. At the same time, I learned a lot during that only 5-7 minute procedure. So one that got me thinking, why somebody is not using for in dental industry. We run into all these day to day problems in even in dental lab, or or digital part of dentistry, or anywhere where the process based training is involved. To me, that was an eye opener. So yeah, so idea came from there. And then obviously we started building a lot of courses within the VR. The very first one, which we did like last year, it took us 5 months to get the first course up and running, that to the alpha version. And that time, Dr. Who's, I met you and showed you what we did in this time period and what this technology can do. So yeah, so you need to share your thoughts for sure. I know it's only been a small, like almost a year journey, very short journey, but I know we are almost having 10 different modules. But yeah, the first one is always dear to me, and the day we met, can you share a bit of experience from that day?
Sure. You know, what's fascinating is I've only been a dentist for 46 years.
Hmm.
And it seems like it was only yesterday that I was trying to figure out how to take my first impression without choking someone to death. And when you start in dental school or you start in any situation, they always talk about watch one, assist one, do
Oh,
one. Watch
yeah,
what someone's doing,
yeah,
assist someone else that's doing it, and then sit down and try to do it yourself.
yeah,
And I remember clearly the first extraction that I had to do after assisting with many.
yeah.
And no one was more surprised that tooth came out than I was.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
until you can sit down and do something,
Yeah,
you can watch all the fishing movies you want.
yeah,
And until you pick up that fishing pole and you
yeah,
try to fish, you have no idea. So when we first met and you were explaining to me the process, immediately I thought to myself, this is absolutely amazing because
mm,
having watched many, assisted many, and now I can actually
do it.
do it
Yeah,
without killing the patient.
yeah. That's
Actually do it.
Yeah, that's our, the whole point of choosing this virtual reality as a medium was exactly the same thing which you just told. Like making any new trainee practice in a risk-free situation. Like you practice, you become master of that process, and then we do the real patient, you are bang on. So that's the whole concept of adding these procedures onto VR. So yeah, so you rightly pointed that out.
And it's also important to understand that when you bring up the example of an airline pilot, how many times he has to land that airplane in a
Yeah.
real situation, and then all the buzzers go off and the machine tells you, well, you've killed everyone. You know,
Mhm.
you have to find a way so that you feel comfortable. And
Yeah.
I think that taking somebody who has had a 6-week training course on how to be a dental assistant, it is totally unfair to throw them into the operatory and expect them to be able to perform at a high level. And also, if you look at the demographic of the people we're hiring, they're young, they're inexperienced. And so now we can give them a comfort level that is giving them the ability to go to excellence, and therefore they don't have the frustration and the anxiety that is associated with learning in a quote unquote real setting. So I have to tell you, I have tremendous admiration for people who can develop technology. Listen, my first computer was a 256 IBM machine and a dot matrix printer, and how far we've come. And so kudos to you guys for putting this all together.
No, I think while I was researching for this training medium, one thing I definitely thought, okay, so online watching videos, reading some documentation, I know the retention and the make like, as you mentioned, doing it as a different, gives you a lot of good muscle memory. While, that was the goal, but online has this scalability, which is great. But offline, these hands-on courses, that offers a lot of good value, because as you mentioned, you listen to the the lecture, and then you actually perform something on the day. But then I thought, okay, we are going from offline hands-on course that happened maybe in Orlando, and now I'm practicing in Florida. I have a patient now after 2 months from that hands-on. This gives me perfect medium where I can club a hands-on course and give them a take-home course, same thing on the virtual setup, and now do practice, practice, practice. And I have a patient 2 months down the line, I can practice a night before, and it's sorted. So yes, I think we put a lot of thought in the structure as such. But yeah, so far it's been, and of course from your mentorship and from some other key people, it has come to a stage where we are launching to various universities. We are now talking to multiple DSOs. So yeah, so again, thank you so much for
Well,
whatever
what's
you did.
fascinating to see is when I hand this headset to somebody, okay, and I ask them to put it on, and I start with the training, and I actually watch their body posture change.
Yeah.
It is fascinating to see this because they're immersed in the event.
No, that's true.
They're within the event, and you actually watch them as if they're doing it. And if you put this headset on someone that's in their 70s versus someone who's in their 20s. The other day, my grandson was here who was 12 years old. And I said, Elliot,
he tried it?
I want you to try this.
Oh, wow.
He goes, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I said, Elliot, I just want you to try this.
Just follow the instructions.
Just follow the instructions. He's 12 years old. He's so used to his iPad. He's so used to technology that within 10 minutes,
oh, wow,
he's moving as if he's performing the procedure. And the only experience he has is watching his grandfather in a dental office.
Wow.
And he has a great
I am using
comfort.
this as a testimonial, Dr. Host, with your permission.
It's fascinating to see. So now when you take somebody who has done a training course in dentistry,
Yeah.
has watched many procedures, has maybe assisted procedures,
Yeah.
and now has the opportunity within the comfort of their living room
Yeah.
where they're relaxed and calm.
Mm.
It is a wonderful way to learn.
Cool. So I think that is the goal. Um, you know, providing, and I think what we also try to do is like making sure the training is very structured, making sure we follow the gold standard principles of maybe a procedure, and that way, and then transform the entire thing into VR. So yeah, it's going great, and yeah, hopefully we'll soon be adding a lot many procedures. I'll talk about that a little later, but yeah, so I think uh, what we definitely wants to try and solve is some of the key problems which I think I interviewed a lot of dental practitioners, and I think many of them have a similar feelings or similar thoughts to share. Why don't you throw some light on what a dental practitioner, or maybe from a different perspective, maybe a dental assistant within that practice, or maybe a dental practice owner goes into a typical day, like what are the kind of problems they run into? Because we have jotted down some of this, in the presentation, but I would definitely love to know from your side.
Well, think about this for a moment. You walk in, so in my office, I have a 17 operatory office, and bigger is not necessarily better. I'm not suggesting bigger is better, but when you have a staff of 27 and you have 5 doctors, there are so many things that can happen
Yeah.
that you couldn't anticipate. So
True.
therefore, training and cross-training is extremely important. So I can literally pull one of my front desk people off the front desk, bring them back into the operatory, and because they've been cross-trained,
Yeah.
they're able to sit with me and do the procedure. Because let's face the facts. If I'm not doing procedures, then I'm not generating revenue. And if I'm not generating revenue, then I can't pay bills and I can't pay my staff.
Right.
So
Very
now,
true.
if I have a staff member that's called out sick, or I have a staff member right now that injured her arm and she's going to be out for multiple weeks, to be able to say to somebody, I'm doing this particular procedure tomorrow, I need you to bone up on it, and I hand them this headset, and they can
That's the
come
goal.
back. They can come
Yeah.
back the next day and they go, I'm set to go. Or when in our office we have a dedicated sterilization assistant, and we have
Yeah.
5 sterilizers. That person has to be trained to a standard of
Yeah.
safety for not just the
Correct.
patients, but for the doctors, for the assistants. And we know that we have a gold standard. You use the term gold standard. We know we have a gold standard
Sure.
because your company is constantly making sure that these things are at the highest level with the
Yeah.
gold standard. And so
Yes.
with confidence, I don't have to sit and train them. I don't have to take my lead dental assistant,
Yeah.
who I need in the operatory with me,
Yeah.
to train.
No, I think, yeah, rightly said, because I think that was a number one problem. If especially when I'm asking this to a practice owner, and what they typically say, training we know is important, but we have our day-to-day life, right? We have our patients, I need to address those first. If I'm talking to a dental lab owner, everybody understand, we need to make sure that people are trained, especially, a lot of technology is coming up into dental offices. We're not only restricting ourselves to dental scanners anymore. There are 3D printers are there already. There are some of the, not many, but some of them do have in-office millings, and so all of these technology coming in. And I think one of the problems which people was definitely they were mentioning was like some unexpected leave. You mentioned somebody called in sick, and you can't push them for now, obviously because of right reasons, and now but you are left. Either you do their job and you take out that precious patient chair time and you lose revenue as a default, or you can give it to somebody new and make sure they train this on the VR headset for say 2-3 hours. They are there at least 90% there in the very first day. So that was our goal. I'm glad to hear these stories for sure.
It's listen, the hardest part of any new technology is
Mm.
implementation.
Yeah.
Implementation. So when you make the decision that you're going to invest in the DGA product,
Mm.
you need to buy it, but you need to make sure that you implement it. I can go
No,
into
that's that's
dental
true.
offices. I can go into dental offices and find lots of stuff that is sitting in the drawers.
Mm.
You have to be committed to implementation. And so the way to do that for me was
Yeah.
I needed to sit with the headset first
Yeah. No, that's a great way to do this.
so that I believe the technology works.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then taking your lead assistant, having your lead assistant look at it. And then
Nice.
as it goes down through your office in terms of the hierarchy, someone will
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I now can become valuable.
Mm.
I can become valuable to the doctor because I can be the assistant on this procedure." Also, I will
Yes.
tell you, and this is my personal thing, that when I give a headset to my dental assistant, if they're home, I pay them
Mm.
while they're home. I don't say,
Mm.
you do this on your own time. Listen,
Yeah.
I get paid to work, they get paid to work. And that's just practice management 101.
Yeah.
Practice management 101. And you also need to remember that we are not in the tooth business.
Mm.
I have never seen a tooth walk into my office. Somehow it's attached to something.
We are in
We
people
are in the
business,
relationship business.
relationship business. Yeah.
And when we're in the relationship business, our dental assistant has to
Mm.
feel confident in her
Yeah.
relationship with the patient.
True.
And the only way they can do that is they have to be confident in the procedure. And that's what
Mm.
this training does. It gives them confidence. Again, congratulations to have the foresight to do this.
No, one thing I will add here, and I think this is, and also for the listeners here, and I found this as a right platform to say this. We are in a very short time, we are coming up with the learning management software, which is where I can track now each and every headset in terms of their usage. And at the same time, if you see our journey, if you look in, we'll talk about that a little bit later, the user journey. It starts with the orientation. It talks about couple of rounds to get used to the controls and everything. Then it talks about try me or guide me procedures, which you have like there is a voiceover which guides you as if like you are attending an actual hands-on, but you are
Right.
virtually attending this. And then finally, there is a test me, which you actually do. You don't have anything, but you need to perform now. There is no guidance. But and then there is some kind of text scores which appear like you. So basically to objectively say about your readiness. So I think what we are now doing is now since we have like when we started, we only had couple of modules, but now we have 10 modules covering different procedures. So now we want to track it properly, especially for somebody like yourself. You mentioned you're having like 17 dental chairs, operatory, there are multiple dental assistants, and there are multiple dentists at the varying levels of expertise. Now now if you want to make sure that people are spending time, and you rightly pointed, what's the point of adding new technology if it is one, we wanted to make it fun so that people use it voluntarily, and second, we want to still track it for the sake of having an extra eye, like somebody like yourself, Dr. Who's, you can go to the LMS and see which of your assistant has spent with how much time on this, and at the same time what are their test scores and everything. Now you can make an informed decision. Okay, this person in this procedure is scoring like high 90%. He's ready for the patient, let's go for it. So just for I think we are in the right stage. In hopefully couple of months we'll be clubbing this with an LMS, so that a like somebody like yourself, somebody who's a practice manager, somebody who is like a DSO training manager, they can all track it at their leisure. They can just open this one pager dashboard and they can see what is happening. So just wanted to give a little bit add on to this technology
Without
piece.
this, without this feedback, without this feedback, the person who's learning becomes frustrated.
Yeah.
You need to know where you stand in terms of your training.
Yes.
It's very critical. Listen, if we didn't keep score of things, we wouldn't have any cricket games, baseball games, or soccer games. We need to know what the score is. We need to know what the standings are. Also, one of the things that I did was, and again, this is just how I run my practice, is
Yeah.
there's a reward, whether it
Hmm.
be a staff lunch, a gift
Yeah.
card, there's a reward for accomplishing something,
Of course.
not just in the terms of the sense of accomplishment, but giving someone a $25 gift card to a coffee shop
Hmm.
it isn't a question of an incentive, it's a question of a thank you.
Yeah, it positively motivating for somebody who is learning new procedure. They don't fear of trying out again, you
Right,
know. So it's
right.
it's beautiful culture, definitely.
I'll tell you something else, what's interesting. And again, this is maybe an arrogant statement, but when I have a staff member leave my office to move away, and they
Hmm.
move to Florida or they move to Seattle, they get a job within a day
Hmm.
because somebody knows from what their feedback is of the training that they've had,
Nice.
and they become more valuable. And as they become more valuable, their self-worth increases. And as their
Yeah.
self-worth increases, their willingness to take on new challenges. One of my lead dental assistants moved to Florida. When she demonstrated to this dentist what she knew,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
became so valuable. And so
Yeah.
we want to empower
Yeah.
our staff members.
True. No, true. Because that's our goal. Because what we are create, what we want to create, or we to a certain level we have done, is create this like skill empowering modules, not just watching a video thing, or maybe so if somebody's taken a course, I want to provide an add-on value where I'm giving them some sort of platform where they actually perform, and then whenever they're going for a new job, or so that's that skill is captured in their their skill set. They feel empowered because now they have done it. Like for example, if I'm using this VR headset, I've done this particular procedure in the test me score, I'm scoring A plus grades, 90 plus marks. I feel confident for sure, even though I might not have tried that procedure in a real patient. But this sense of accomplishment and confidence, once you know the process and you have done it virtually, you feel a lot of confidence. I still remember my early days of clinic. I was an okay clinician, nothing like yourself. But I felt I maybe was more inclined to a digital dentistry space, dental lab space more. But first 2 years I was doing both. And I realized, first few patients, because certain procedures you have not even done in your dental college. Like in our colleges, we used to have mandatory patients you need to perform certain procedures on. But then again, on those patients, like anybody and everybody who's a dentist or a dental technician or an assistant have tried their first patient in the real life. And I can tell from my experience, that patient might not know initially, but then I was not very confident in those first few, definitely not few, but 10 odd patients for sure. And they can get a sense of it. And I feel this is helping them a lot. Like I wish in my time, if such training available on a virtual thing, I would have more confidence on those first few patients I've treated.
Sure. The other thing is, though, when we go back to technology,
Yeah.
I remember very distinctly getting our first intraoral scanner. Excuse me. And we're looking at this thing, and my dental assistant is looking at this thing. And I realized that I was going to learn how to use it
Hmm.
on my poor dental assistant,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, and to be able to know the technology before implementing it with a patient is
Yeah.
a great thing, because you don't look like an
Mhm.
idiot. Forget about learning it. You want your patients to feel confident
Yeah.
what you're doing,
Yeah.
because if they didn't feel confident, they wouldn't sit in your dental chair.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't take long for them to figure out, wait a
Yeah.
second,
True.
they've never done this before. They've never done this before. And so I think that it's very, very important that this technology allows the patient to have the confidence in the practitioner, the confidence in the dental assistant, and that builds rapport, that builds this
Yeah.
rapport between the three of you, this triangle of care, the
Yeah.
patient, the doctor, the assistant, the
Sure.
triangle
Yep.
of care.
That's what we are aiming for and
Right.
trying to achieve. And yeah, a lot of time when I was figuring out online medium doesn't offer this. You're just watching videos. There is a lot less engagement, of course. So that's been the problem of online. But then offline, definitely, I see a value here because offline offers like actual practical hands-on. But yes, there is a cost involved. You travel to a location, you do this 2 years, 2 days course, and then you come back to your practice, and then that the knowledge dwindles down, and maybe after a while you have your procedure to do in the patient, but maybe in a couple of months or a month, you don't know when you'll exactly practice that. Only thing is what we offer. I really love the hands-on approach, and we always say, okay, this is a complemental thing. I call this as a take-home training, and that's why we are working with certain training companies who are having these offline courses, hands-on courses, and now they have started giving these, the headsets, the course sets in the headset. Now they can practice, practice, practice. Now, when the actual patient arrives, or maybe practice a day or night before, as you mentioned, in your leisure living room, relax and learn the process, again, do the process again, and then you perform the real patient. It is a wonderful, plugging the
And no,
gap. So
and
it's,
no one, and no one is looking over your shoulder.
yeah,
No one is looking over your shoulder correcting you, so then you
Mm.
feel bad. We want
Yeah, yeah, of
we want
course.
we want to elevate how people feel in terms of their training. That's the key. That's the key.
Yeah, and of course, when you have a senior person involved, their time is also important, right? So you
Sure, if you're paying, I
yeah,
mean, let's make up a number. If you're paying one person $20 an hour, I'm just making up the number. And so
yeah,
you're paying one person $20 an hour and one person $30 an hour to do the training. You're now at $50 an hour.
yeah,
And then if you add another person for another $25, suddenly you're at $75 an hour. And it's
Mm.
time, and those other people are not available. It becomes very expensive. It becomes
Yeah,
very
of
expensive.
course.
So we need to be able to train them off-site.
Yep.
We need to do
Yes.
that. I'm sure we're generating some very good questions from people, because they're saying to themselves, "Oh, I now understand that." But
Yeah, I think let's talk about more what we as a company or as a solution we are trying to fix here. And I think we'll cover some of the glimpse of what we are showing. I know it's just a video. It is not as immersive as what you do while you wear the headset. It's a different experience altogether. But just for the audience, I just want to run the some of the glimpses of what a orientation course or try me course or a test me course offers. We'll just run a couple of videos. So
great.
yeah, so I think as a part of solution, and I think we have already talked about this a bit. It's immersive, it's distraction free. I'll tell you this, our younger audience, like the new assistants or the new dentists coming in, they I don't want to be sounding rude, but at the same time, it's in this world you can see the video running, but at the same time you can be on your mobile checking messages.
Yes, yes, yes. I need you to be present. I need you to be present.
Because you're fully focused, and I think, Dr. Who's, you've tried it, and you're mentioning once you wear the headset, you are totally in that zone. You can't do anything else, and you are actually performing the procedure as if like you are actually doing something on a real patient. And then that to me was exciting when I saw this for the first time, when I did my first training in there, and I was actually handling airline emergency that time. But even this, the idea was to create these distraction-free, risk-free courses where people will enjoy and do, and for them it is a fun learning, but at the same time, it's a serious job.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We're doing serious business. We're taking care of patients, and we've been given the right to cut human tissue. We've
Hmm.
been given the right to cut human tissue.
Yeah, yeah,
That is,
and
we are doing serious business.
yeah, and to me, a funny thing, While I was researching about this training, I could see a lot of medical equipment companies, people in the medical training business, they are using virtual reality much before than us. And that's a sad reality for dental. Because when I checked about my competition, because I was trying to make sure that whatever is available, I do a notch higher. I wanted to make sure the training are more realistic, add a lot of value in people's life, and actually uh, do what we are trying to say, like, actually do a real impact in patient's life, in assistant's life, and a dentist's life. But unfortunately, I could not see anyone doing this. To me, that was very surprising. And that's when I realized maybe, in dentistry, we don't take, you know, there's
Well, it is,
certain error
it is,
percentage are
it is
norm.
just, it is just teeth, And
Yeah,
and the answer is it's only related to how people feel about themselves, they're smiling, they're chewing, their self-worth. And we as
yeah,
dentists need to elevate our profession to feel
yeah,
better about what we're doing.
yeah.
That and and
That's
and that is really, and I've been saying this for the last 40 years, you know, oh, I'm just a dentist. What are you kidding? You're
mhm,
taking patients out of pain. Someone's been up all night. Somebody has broken their front tooth. We are
yeah,
elevating our patients, and we need our assistants and our
yeah,
hygienists to feel good and feel great about what they're doing for the profession. So you actually
exactly.
have some video clips of what the machine is doing, correct?
Sure. So let's
Great.
dive into that. So I think we'll go about orientation. Yeah, we have already started.
I don't see it on my side, but it's showing on the recording or on the webinar.
Yeah, it shows on the webinar back,
Great.
like on the presentation. So I think this is, so if you see,
Great.
this is a Try Me application. It
The iTero
talks
scanner should be
about
right in front of you so that you can easily see the scanner screen. And while you are scanning, you avoid any uncomfortable position and
with
unnecessary
multiple
strain,
voices.
as you are required to constantly see the scanner screen while
Saurabh,
yourself to
can
the
you
back of the page.
pause a bit? I think there are two voices I'm hearing. Saurabh, you're talking on mute.
Sorry, if you guys can mute yourself, it'll stop echoing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I will just do that.
Dr. Manish, you can speak, then rest of us will be on mute.
Okay, let me just break down this clips for the audience. So I think the orientation talks, the app talks about, or the module talks more about the controls. If you see on the left-hand side of the screen, there is wand popping up, and there are instructions everywhere. Like, and there it talks about the labeling and everything. So anybody who's even a non-clinician has to go through this orientation first, so that understand the environment, understand the controls. That's what the orientation is all about. If you see what is running right now, see there is it guides, go to the next step, it guides the user on each and every step. See now the labeling and highlights pops up, talks about the environment and all. So all in all, orientation is all about you know giving them a glimpse of the controls of the VR as well as the environment. I think, yeah, sort of. I think you can pause the orientation, and then before you run the Try Me, I'll just give a glimpse of Try Me, or the short notes on Try Me for the audience. I think Try Me is more like a virtual hands-on. There is a voiceover guided instruction training. Every step there is a voiceover which runs and you perform that step after the voice is instructed you what to do next. So that's more like a try me or guide me procedure. And then finally, there will be test me, which you'll have no guidance, but you still need to perform each and every step. So we typically recommend as a user, as a learner journey, we recommend them to start with orientation first so that they learn the controls, then do the try me for like 20 to 25 times so that they have solid grip on the procedure now, and then they move on to do the test me. So one procedure typically we recommend after they have done, say, orientation couple of times, test try me for 20, 25 to maximum 30 times, and then they move on to test me. They are very much there on test me, and it typically depends on patient to patient, sorry, on trainee to trainee, but typically that's the number in our experience. And now it talks about finally about the test me, where you are actually get some scores, get the you know, get an actual report after the performance is done. So yeah, that's the Test Me app. So you see there is no voiceover instructions. Let's just run the Test Me for a while and then see there is no voiceover here. And you can see on the left hand side, some live score is happening. See, you started doing the scanning. As you perform the scanning, okay. Okay, so that's typically as a test me, you get the scoring, but you don't get any kind of voiceover guidance, and you need to perform the action on your own. Now, as we were showing the apps, the videos, I think those are our earliest ones, the iTero scanning. We have added some trio scanning, denture scanning, and all, and we have gone a notch higher. Now you see the model is not a typhodont looking model. It will be a patient scan actually. So you're directly scanning right uh, on the patient as if you are scanning a live patient. So that's another addition we have added in our latest scanning app. So that's another level. We can share the audience if somebody requests for some sort of clips for our trio scanning, we can definitely share this with them. So that was in nutshell the user journey. And of course, Dr. Who's any comments there?
Well, what I will tell you is the difficult part in the beginning is for you to understand that you're using a different control system.
Yeah.
And that takes maybe 15 minutes to get used to. But once you get used to it, it's like second nature. And the other thing, and I said it before, when you watch somebody using the system, you actually see them moving their head and moving their hands as if they're there.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see. And if you had told me 10 years ago or 5 years ago someone was going to introduce something like this, I'd go, yeah, maybe in 25 years. But things have progressed very quickly. And
I'll tell you this, Dr. Who's, we developed our first app in 5 months. and that too was not so market ready app. It was, the first one I showed it to you back in August 2024. And from there to now, we have 10 modules, and it's going with a speed of every 2 months we are launching one more. So it, and sometimes we are doing some parallel, development. And the exciting thing is we are coming up with a lot of great even dentist learning tools, something like on the realm of crown preparation, isolation, something like how to convert, like smart denture conversions, how to
Right.
do a denture conversion from a regular denture to making them an all an X case. So a lot of things is happening. So I think earlier it was little bit time taking and everything. Now even you mentioned 5 years, but what we want to achieve is seemingly possible now. We want to create this as a virtual university where 25 to 30 different important procedures sits in the headset itself, or maybe more in short time. And yeah, um, that's the goal.
You should be very proud. You should be very proud.
Thank you. And this is something we are working on right now for the audience. We are looking forward to develop a very comprehensive learning management software, and this slide talks about that only. We can still track the performance in the test me scores, but other than that, it's still work in progress. And I think in couple of months we are aiming for a very comprehensive LMS where each and every, I think I've already talked about a bit earlier on this. You mentioned I don't want any technology of this nature sitting in the clinic, but actually being used by various levels, because this will have all the courses for assistants, for new dentists, or even confidence builders. That's what I call for even expert dentists. So all those entities can benefit, but we wanted to actually have a tracking mechanism. So this is what we are working on right now.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, so I think what I will say, how would you know that your trainee is ready for a real patient? It is simple mathematics, which we have. I'll tell you, in our last 1 year, people have whatever whomsoever has used it. I have seen people getting ready for a procedure in like 20 runs, 20 runs of try me procedure, and they have tried their first patient, and they were like, I would not say 100% there. They were like 90% confident, 90% there in their first patient itself. That to me was amazing testimonial. We received a testimonial where a receptionist of an office, the front office staff, you mentioned, doctor, who sometimes happens like your lead assistant is missing, or your assistant scanning assistant is missing. That happened from in that clinic. 5 days this person was doing scanning on the patient in 5 days in total, and that to a non-dental I'm talking about. So I think what we have seen is, when do you know it's working for you, is like if you're non-dental technician, or those who don't have any tech background or scanning tech training, or any such training which you are aiming for, they have, without too much of your intervention, they have gone through this training orientation 2 times, try me 20 times, 20 25 times, and then guy test me. They immediately start scoring very well in test me after they have done try me for like good 15, 20, 25 times. So that's a typical average number is 20 times. And then, so I think, and then once they are confident, you will definitely feel, okay, this is working for you. And I think definitely it is very cost effective. We are aiming for reaching to practice level, and we wanted to make sure that this is not very capex heavy. I think for the audience who will be interested, you can reach out to Saurabh for all those questions, and the costing and everything can be answered there. And we love to know more about your your feedback on what the costing looks like for you. But I think what we are doing is giving a right value. And yeah, so if you're non-dental person, without your help, intervention takes up a dental case on a patient like in few days, you will know it's working for you.
Yes. And the key to it is confidence.
Yeah,
Confidence.
that's true. Yeah, I think yeah, that's true, because you are confident as an operator, your patient is definitely having a good experience. That's the end outcome, I believe, for every operatory manager or practice manager or dental practice owner. That's the ultimate goal, to make sure that patients feel happy, taken care of, and they don't feel that your staff is under trained or they're anxious or something like that. So that definitely, so that's a very good outcome. Your highly trained staff, highly highly confident staff. I think that summarizes everything, and at the end of the day, patient experience goes higher. That's our ultimate goal.
Everyone,
Productivity.
everyone remembers how you made them feel.
Yeah,
Everyone
true.
remembers that. It's not what you did, it's how you made them feel.
Yeah, and definitely after implementation, you'll definitely feel uh, very minimal interaction, involvement of the senior trainers or senior lead technician. That's the outcome, typical outcome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, that's thank you so much, both of you, for very nice and of course deep discussion. I'll just quickly, of course, understand for the understanding of the audience that we're gonna have a quick Q&A session right at the end. So this is how you could, and that's a process that we follow. If you are looking to buy to get a more understanding, you can always reach out to us at support@dgadental.com. And of course, we have every kind of solution that we could work out for you. So we can have a detailed chat. You can book a meeting with me as well. So that's another thing we can do. Of course, right at the end, we say that we are, of course, looking forward to partner with you. And the most important thing is that the practices are yet to realize the true potential of what DGA Dental can offer to you. So now I'm going to take a couple of questions. So we are open to questions now. Just give it us a couple of seconds, so we'll have questions coming in.
cool. I think we did fantastic job, Dr. Who's. We might not be having too many questions, I guess.
Well, at least we liked it.
So one of the questions I have is in terms of implementation. The one of the audience is asking how easy is it to implement the whole
Okay.
tech, like on a ground level,
Yeah,
or
so
to start
I
with.
I I can take this up. So typically what happens is like once you order certain courses, after the payment and everything is done, what we give it is these courses are already loaded on the VR headset. It is delivered to the clinic, and what they need to do is just power on. And also there is a booklet inside on how what are some of the how to start and all those very straightforward instruction, nothing crazy. But I'll tell you this, how easy it is. You just power on, wear the headset, and you will see a dashboard. Then and there you will see few icons of the courses you purchased, and you are good to go. You can just simply start off, and how to select and all that, that is covered in the orientation. So typically you start the orientation and you're good to go. So it's literally plug and play. You don't need to install anything on your end. I know your time is precious, so we don't want any practice owner to think about how to install this app now. I don't want them to think about all the technical stuff. We wanted to take it, make sure it is easier for you. So what we are doing is simply loading everything on the headset and then delivering it to you. You just power on and you're good to go. It is that simple to implement. And then, for example, if you have anything new, like for example, if you order anything new from us, you say, okay, I'm good with scanning things now. I like the sterilization course you guys have. I want to go ahead for that. You pay after you pay the sterilization fees. We remotely then install the sterilization app from the backend. Only thing is you need to make sure that you are on, your Wi-Fi is on. Once your Wi-Fi is on, the sterilization app is automatically installed in your dashboard in say 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. That's it.
It's very simple. It's all very simple. But I think there's something else in terms of streamlining. For me, and only me, I want my new assistant or new person to sort of see as they shadow a senior person what
Yeah.
they're going to be learning. And then we give them the headset so they have an idea as to what's happening. And then they're ready to go. And then they're ready to go because we don't give it to them in a vacuum.
Yeah. So there is one thing, Dr. Who's, which we can add there, and you rightly pointed out. If I'm giving a demo to my new assistant, what they gonna be experiencing in the VR headset, we can always cast the experience what you're going through onto the screen, like on a laptop or a TV or anything. Then you, while you are running the procedure on your end, like from your end, and you are teaching that new assistant, you can show them what is happening on the screen, and then they can obviously pick it up from there.
Yes, very important. Very
Oh,
important.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for that. Another question,
Make it you
audience.
got to make sure it's a hard question, not an easy question, a hard question.
Well,
The
the
hard
questions
questions are answered by Dr. Who's for the audience. Just I want to make
well,
sure.
typically, one of the things questions asked is that is there a limit to the usage of the modules or the software that we are getting? Like, can anybody use it, or is there any limit to the usage of the
Yeah.
software?
Okay, so while you're buying a course, that's a good question. By the way, so you are getting it for an annual subscription fee. So yes, there is a limit of entire year, but imagine you have for entire year this procedure with you in the headset, and there is no limit for any number of users as such. So you can have like maybe 5 or 10 or 15 users within that time frame. And even though your old assistant is gone and new is coming in say 3 months time, you don't need to worry about the training anymore. You have the training sitting with you for an entire year and you can use it multiple times. So that's no limits there. But yes, you are paying for annual subscription there.
And it's multiple times with multiple people.
Yeah, multiple times, multiple people.
So
Yeah.
each person logs on with their own feedback. So you're not paying for each module for each person. You have your module, and then you could run it through 20 staff members if you need to.
Yeah. As I told you, we wanted to make it very easy and no-brainer for anybody to think about the pricing and all. So it's pretty straightforward.
And I want to go back just quickly about pricing. When you think about what it takes to train and the number of people it takes to train, the DGA VR training is cheap. It's cheap because what happens is you're not tying up multiple people.
Yeah, no.
And your senior person is going to be able to work with you as somebody who is less senior is going to be able to be trained. Yep. So it's really incredibly cost effective.
Yep. Yeah, cool. I think on detailed pricing and everything, you can reach out to the mentioned email, and Saurabh can take up that later on, direct one-to-one.
You got to give us a harder question. Come on, you must have a harder question than that.
I'm just going with the flow. The audience is throwing the questions at me. One of the questions is about skill development. Dr. Hughes, you are the one to answer this. So the question is about skill development. Like, is this module helping them to develop a particular skill set?
Absolutely. Especially if they're not familiar. You see, the other interesting thing that we haven't mentioned, you have someone that moves to your area, they have 20 years dental experience. People come with very bad habits. They come with very bad habits. So when you have something that's the gold standard, and say you've come highly trained, you're a very sophisticated person, we just like you to understand the gold standards by which we want things done in our office. This is especially true in the DSO model. Yeah. Because there's a lot of turnover in the DSO model. And that turnover can be minimized by staff members not feeling frustrated, and everyone's on the same page. I could be the best basketball player in the world. I go to a new team, the new coach has ideas how to run the defense. So we want people on the same gold standard.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think that is one of the key things we are offering is like we don't want to. When we started off this, we didn't want it to reinvent anything. We wanted to make sure that we followed the structure guided like guidelines which a gold standard training for a certain procedure offers. And we just wanted to make sure that this entire gold standard training transformed to VR so that it is repeatable,
Correct.
in a immersive environment. That was only our goal. And yeah, I think that is one of the good outcomes of a VR training but I will tell you this on skill development, anybody new trying in, I always say this thing, it is very difficult to unlearn bad habits. Dr. Who's was just pointing that out. They move around, they develop certain bad habits. I'll tell you this, nothing can help you if you don't want to have a mindset of unlearning those bad habits and then learning the procedure in the right way. And if you are aligned yourself for learning the process in the right way, I think we are making sure that this unlearning part and learning the new part is fun for you and it's engaging for you. That's what we want to make sure.
Sure. Just think about this. Everyone knows how to drive a car. But when you
Yeah.
get into a new car, you don't know where the wipers are, or you don't know how to turn on the radio, or you don't know how to shift the gears. But with this, there's a standardization.
Yeah.
And then that standardization allows you to feel comfortable.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Saurav,
Yeah.
that's it?
So I have another last question. It's a small one, but if we can just quickly take that. So it's about the headset and like, does it have a technical support or does it require changing or
Of
anything?
course. Yeah, so we do have, we are not expert in this. I'll tell you very frankly. First of all, we are not making these headsets. These are Meta Quest 3, the latest Meta headsets. So we are making sure that we are always up in the curve. So if Meta launches 4 or 5, we wanted to make sure that we are ahead. So right now, Meta Quest 3 is the latest headset. We do have, as I told you earlier, we are not the expert in this headset business, but we have a very reliable partner in New Jersey, in US, who is taking care of this installation part, the delivery part, and like procurement of the headset and everything is, we have outsourced to this particular amazing team in New Jersey, US. We wanted to make sure that, I know the audience is global here, but we do have right now support hours in US timelines. We are working on the European timelines as well. In a short time, we're gonna be having a European timeline support system available. But as of now, our support runs from 10 a.m., 9 a.m. EST till 8 p.m. EST. So that's the current timelines. We are working to expand that as well. As of
There's
now,
something,
it's all
there's
in.
something else, there's something else you must remember.
Yep.
When you finish with your headset, plug it in. Keep an extra set of batteries for your
Yeah.
hand
Yeah,
control
that's true.
in your box.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that when your dental assistant takes this home and
That's
suddenly
true.
the handset doesn't work, they don't have to go fishing for batteries. So it is very important that this thing does run on electricity, not gasoline. And so we want to make sure that things are plugged in, and we want to make sure that, we have fresh
No,
batteries.
no, Dr. Who's you pointed it out right because the funny thing is only two problems we have encountered, or maybe three. One, we have created some sort of booklet to make sure your queries are handled. Like there is no, like, I know if it is beyond support hours and you are into middle of some important training, we wanted to make sure that the support is very easy for you. And funnily, we are only running 3 support issues until this point of time. And you, Dr. Who's you pointed out very rightly, one of them is just having how to change the batteries in the wands, and it's pretty easy. So that's covered in the booklet. Make sure that your headset is charged, of course, that the Dr. Who's you already covered. Lastly, and sometimes when they are teaching it to a new assistant how to cast it on a screen, we have covered that in the booklet itself. But good thing is these devices are pretty straightforward, very robust. We have not seen anything else apart from this. Any other support questions ever?
Yes, there's no
Okay.
question. You've covered it all.
Brilliant. Thank you so
Yes.
much for that. And thank you, audience. You've been a wonderful audience. And if any other questions are there, you can reach out to us at support@dgrental.com. On that note, thank you so much for being here. And thank you.
Great to see all
Thank you,
of you.
Saurabh. Thank you, Saurabh, for having us.